What's up, NBA fans? We're going to be discussing the NBA playoffs and my official picks for the first, second, third, and finals. So we're going to start with the Western Conference, and the Nuggets or the Thunder and Grizzlies have already started up and set up their series with the Grizzlies win over the Mavericks. I'm going to go ahead and choose the Thunder in 5 and try to give brief descriptions for each matchup. For this one, we've held JJJ, Ja, and Bane pretty much under 20 points for the most part in the series. We've also swept them in the regular season 4-0, and Shai has averaged 36 points against them. We have way too many defensive guards. They do have kind of the bigger size front court. Edey could pose some problems, but not really because we have the spacing of Chet Holmgren. As long as he's starting, there should be a quick 5-1 series in this one. And moving over to the next round, or this other series here with the Nuggets and Clippers, 55% of fans have chosen the Nuggets, and I'm actually going to agree with them. I do believe this is going to be a grueling 7-game series, so I'm going to pick that. But the reason I'm going with the Nuggets is they have the better big three. They have a championship core. They obviously don't have the coach, but in this one, I have to go with the Nuggets. Jokic has proven himself. He's been an MVP. I don't think James Harden in a Game 7 away from home situation is going to be able to close it out, even if it is a first round series. I just don't see it happening for the Clippers. They do have obviously the coaching advantage in this one with Ty Lue regardless, but man, I have to go with who I think is just the better team overall. And I think the Nuggets have the better depth because you don't have to go as deep in the playoffs. So I don't know. I just like this matchup for them a little bit better. With the Lakers and Timberwolves series, this is another one where fans, obviously Laker fans, 88% are choosing the Lakers. Man, if the Timberwolves, I think the Timberwolves can at least get this to 6 games, maybe even 7, to be honest. Anthony Edwards is just a dangerous guy. Like, he's shooting above 10 attempts from the 3-point line, and I think he's like top 5 in percentage in 3-pointers, and then he's made the most threes on the regular season. I think they're just going to have a hard time containing him from outside of the line there, and then even going towards the basket. They don't really have perimeter defenders that I can even think of. Maybe Vanderbilt, but he's not going to be someone that's getting too many minutes. Man, and people are really overstating how effective Rudy Gobert is going to be in this, or ineffective he's going to be in this. And I think he's going to be perfectly fine. Like, looking back at the series, obviously he had the big shot hit on him. I think he gets really discounted, but he's still a top 10, maybe top 5 center when it comes to defense, and he's fine on the perimeter. He's not like absolutely terrible. That being said, I still do think the Lakers probably take this in 6. I could still see this being a 7-game series and the Lakers taking it in 7, but that's going to be my official pick there. And for this Rockets Warrior series, man, I'm really high on the Warriors. I've said this pretty much all year long, especially since they gotten Jimmy Butler. I believe they're like 21-2 or 21-3 or something like that in that span. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. Man, I'm a huge fan of the Rockets as well. They have a great overall team, but that's not really what wins in the playoffs. It's what your core is, and that's kind of what I'm sticking to. The better players are going to win the series. That's just how it usually goes in the NBA. And between Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond, I trust that way more. Mainly, honestly, I trust Jimmy Butler in this. Like, he's been the calming factor for them. Every time they need a bucket, he'll get a bucket. If they need a stop, he'll get stops. Man, I'm going with these guys. I think this is going to go 7 games. They're going to have to win away from home. There's just no other way. That I don't think the Warriors or the Rockets are going to make this easy because of the amount of depth that they have. So this is going to be a grueling series for the Warriors, but I think they can still pull it off. They have the talent, so I'm going to go with them. Moving over to the Eastern Conference, Cavaliers versus Heat. The Heat just, pulled into the 8 seed here pretty unexpectedly. Oh, man. I guess if this was Heat against the Celtics, I'd maybe give them a game. This feels like a 4-0 sweep type of series. Man, Donovan Mitchell and all the guys, I just don't know how the Heat make this a series. Tyler Hero, big game, but they just don't have anyone else. Like when I watch them in the play-in, they didn't have anyone else, man. They barely, yeah. I got to go with Cavaliers and 4 in this one. They just don't. The Heat don't have anyone other than Tyler Hero. They don't have the shot creation for this type of series. The Cavaliers have way more shot creators. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that. Having just watched the Pacers Bucks, today's Saturday, April 19th. It's 4 o'clock. I believe the other series is starting up right now as well with possibly the Nuggets and Clippers or whatever. But having just watched the Pacers Bucks series, the Bucks look a lot better than I expected. I do see Dame possibly coming back for the later half of this series, possibly. Even if he's not back, I don't know. I feel like if they split this series here at home against the Pacers, they can make the 7 games. And I would take the better player in Giannis over the Pacers. They have the 2 in their core versus the Bucks only have Giannis. Man, they have the better team, but I've been picking the better players. So I'm going to go with Bucks in 7. I don't think this is going to be a short series at all. It's really like there's a lot of arguments, fighting going on, a lot of bickering back and forth. They just had technicals in that one. So I'm going to take the Bucks in 7 there. Pacers, man, they just didn't impress me in that first game. There was just something about it. Like they had, 2 leads that dwindled down multiple times. I feel like the Bucks figured something out in both those runs that they had. So as long as they play a little bit harder on defense, honestly, they can stick close to the Pacers. And then, with Giannis being the better player, he can get those timely buckets that they need versus the Pacers. I don't know. I don't trust that. With the Knicks versus Pistons, I'm going with the Knicks here. I don't know I don't understand the hype with the Pistons. They're missing their second best player in Ivy. Cade's fantastic. He's definitely not better. He's probably on par, could be on par with Jalen Brunson, but then they have Cat and OG and Mikal. Yeah. This is in 6 for the Knicks. Cade's awesome. He may take 1 or 2 games off of them. Max, there's no way it's going to 7. I can bet a lot of money on that. And then the Celtics versus Magic. Yeah. 99% of fans agree. The Magic, I guess the same issue as the Pistons. They have Paulo, but they don't really have the shot creation. Young team. Celtics are proven championship roster. We're going to go right back to the top here. Thunder versus Nuggets. This is where it gets super interesting for the semifinals. I'm obviously going to go with the Thunder here. It's just depending on how many games do I think the Nuggets can take off of us. I think 2 games, to be honest. We have the better roster. We have the better depth. We have the better player. We have the better two-way talent. Yeah, I'm going to go with my gut instinct of Thunder in 6, Thunder in 5, Thunder in 6. I believe we'll see what I think for the next round here. But Lakers, Warriors, man, I love Jimmy Butler on this. They have the better two-way talent. If they played Kuminga in this, I think this would be huge for them. Both small ball lineups. I don't think there's a better small ball lineup than the Warriors, than the Thunder. That's the crazy thing. I think this is going 7 games. Super grueling series. Either way, LeBron has to do way too much on the defensive end. Neither of them have really role players that I trust in any kind of form or fashion. It's really dependent on whether I trust the three best players on each team. So Luka, LeBron, Reeves, or would I rather have Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy Butler? I'm trying to just visualize who would I rather have. Man, I'm going to take the Lakers in 7 in this one. It could go honestly either way. Steph could have a crazy series. The reason I went with the Lakers is they have the younger best player in the series with Luka Doncic. But if Steph is really consistent in this and they don't really have anyone that can stop him, he's the X factor, I think. It's crazy to say, but I do think, Draymond's going to be really consistent. Jimmy's going to be consistent. LeBron's going to be consistent. Reeves is going to do what he does. Luka's going to probably do what he does. Steph is the guy that has been on and off. And after going through this grueling series and then another grueling series, I don't know if they can pull it out with how tired him and Jimmy will probably be. And then we already have the Cavaliers versus Bucks here. I'm going to take the Cavs in. Ooh, Dame could be coming back for this. This could be really another series. I'm going to take the Cavaliers in seven, similar to this series where it's super grueling. The Cavaliers have the better overall team, better overall starting five. That's just kind of what I'm going to choose for this. So, man, I don't know. If Dame is back, I just don't know the availability of Dame, but I'm still going to trust that Cavaliers roster. They've shown enough throughout the whole season. This is pretty obvious that I'll probably be going with the Celtics, considering my theme for this has been the better core usually wins, but the five best players in terms of the roster could be the Knicks in a vacuum. I just don't know if they'll have enough steam. They'll probably have a really tough series here. It is ending in 6, but the Celtics are going to be way more rested. We don't know the situation with Jaylen Brown's knee. So I'm still going to go Celtics in 6 out of respect. I don't think this will be a 7-game series. Now, this is where the picks get honestly extremely tough for me. Like, I really don't know what to do in this situation. This is going to be – I'm taking Thunder in 7. I mean, Luka, LeBron, Reeves, if after beating the Golden State Warriors, are going to be just so amped up. The fans are going to be going crazy. They're going to be doing the whole Lakers in 5, whatever. I don't know. I think we have the better player in Shai. We have the overall better team. They do have a crazy core of the 3 players. They just are missing a really big they're just missing a big in this one in the center position. I feel like Chet Holmgren's going to be the X factor in this. I believe we take this in 7 on our home court because I really respect Luka Doncic, honestly. Obviously, he has LeBron next to him, which makes it even more dangerous that he can have some off nights with Lou Dort guarding him. And that's kind of the reason I'm giving it to a 7-game series. I feel like this is another 7-game series, super grueling. I am going to go with the Celtics. They're the proven team. I could see the Cavaliers winning in 7 too. This is another crazy coin flip series. I feel like a lot of these, it's really impossible to predict these finals matchups. I am going to go with the Celtics in 7. I feel like they have the better roster overall compared to the Cavaliers. The 3-point shooting is the big difference maker for this. And I feel like they're going to have they've figured out the consistency between defense, 3-point shooting, and getting to the basket. And even when they lose games in those forms or fashions, like they know how to pick it back up. They've won a championship in this way. They have the better player in Tatum in that series as well. Very close roster construction, but I feel like Tatum's the guy that I can say that will be consistent in this playoff run. If he's not, easily give me the Cavaliers. If Donovan Mitchell's going absolutely berserk like he used to in the Utah days, I haven't seen that from him in the regular season. I haven't seen that dog of 32, 33 points per game type thing come out of Donovan. If that happens through this playoff run, then the Cavaliers could easily take that Celtics series. Until I see it, I can't. It's hard for me to believe it. And then we have the finals matchup. I've said all the other ones are coin flips. This is legitimately a coin flip. Super even rosters, even superstars, I guess, from like a talent standpoint overall. Man, we have the depth. We have the depth to take this. I feel like I am taking the homer pick in the Thunder in 7. I'm going to trust in Shai. I'm going to trust in J-Dub. J-Dub's going to have to be huge. He's the X factor in this series. He's got to be big on both ends because he's going to be asked to guard. And I've noticed when he's been asked to guard, his offensive numbers drop off a little bit. So my expectation is he's able to guard and still give us at least 20 points in this. And then Chet Holmgren makes up some of the points as well because he usually steps up for big moments. And that's what I'm going to count on. I'm going to count on the J-Dub, Chet Holmgren duo compared to, the KP, JB. That's kind of what I'm going to count on here. Man, that's tough. And obviously I know what I'm going to get out of Shai in this type of series. Probably at the very least, maybe 34 points per game, 36 points per game. I'm hoping he's hitting on all cylinders, but I am going to go ahead and take my Thunder. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, kind of my quick thoughts and breakdowns of each series. Appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll have a lot more breakdowns for each series and playoffs and everything else like that. Appreciate everyone. Thank you.